While I do research each song, it's important to note that these are still just my opinions. This content was made possible by research on Genius, Google, and YouTube, as well as by my own non professional interpretation of the words and music. What makes music great is that each listener can find their own meaning, and what we take away from the experience as individuals is still unique and true. This content is not monetized. The project is fair use compliant and is brought to you without advertisements. Thanks to Bud VLFJ. Thank you. And if you're interested in our arts community, you can join in the link below. Tonight, we're looking at Moon Over Marin by the Dead Kennedys. Now, music and politics have always had a close relationship, and some listeners would prefer not to mix the two, but for fans of the Dead Kennedys, music is politics. In November of 1982, they released their second full-length album, Plastic Surgery Disasters. Even if you don't have an ear for punk rock, this album is worth its full runtime, as it takes the listener on a semi-narrative journey through the recent history and into the future. The album closer, Moon Over Marin, gives us a look at the life of a wealthy landowner in Marin County, California.
COVID-19.
That's not... Yikes. I don't know if that's like the right link.
Help protect
Ouch! Sorry, I apologize for that. Unfortunately, can't get around that. Pretty quick. In the future, there are so many people that it's difficult to get some time alone, even to go jogging. In spite of that, the song's protagonist goes out at night in their jogging suit, which they probably bought on principle of being wealthy. Calling it a uniform tells us that this outfit defines who this person is at their core, or it serves as a symbol of their status. Here we have the first contradiction from the narrator. While we can probably trust that they're not lying, the person's story conflicts with itself on minor details. Just before, they were complaining about how crowded society is, but then they reveal that they own a private beach with fences all the way down to the water. So their decision to exercise at night doesn't actually have anything to do with the crowds, even if the narrator wants to believe so. The final line in the stanza hints at the real reason, as the water near the beach is so polluted that they have to wear a gas mask. The chorus then sets the point, but I'll come back to that. The narrator doesn't seem concerned about an oil tanker running aground in the bay. They say it's been abandoned, as if to suggest that the environmental regulations are not being observed or were abolished, as some politicians are wont to do. Either way, it happens so frequently that the entire beach is covered with oil, and as the next stanza implies, it's been this way for a long while, with no attempts to clean the mess. In the moonlight, we see the very serious extent of the damage and the reason the narrator needs a gas mask. The white gas in question is likely phosgene. This is an industrial compound that was used in World War I as a choking agent. It does not occur naturally, but can be created when chlorinated hydrocarbon compounds are exposed to high temperatures, such as the oil washed up on a California beach. Phosgene is heavier than air, so the narrator only needs their mask near the water's edge where they prefer to jog. The Kurt verse used here demonstrates how fleeting this moonlight exercise really is. The narrator has enough time to step onto the rotting corpses of what were once the local marine life, long enough to worry about getting a splinter. Then it's back up the beach. Whoops. Going through the basement door gives us a hint at where in Marin County the narrator lives. A beachfront property on a hillside, one that likely has outside access from the basement due to the house being uphill from the waterfront. As soon as they're in the house, the protagonist gets into a wooden tub as opposed to a porcelain-coated steel tub, as the porcelain coating is semi-permeable by water, and phosgene-laced water would corrode the steel inside within days, if not hours. Phosgene can cause poisoning through the skin, even as a gas, but it can be removed with large amounts of soap and water. The scalding sensation described by the narrator is likely due to how often they go down to the beach and end up suffering chemical burns, even if they aren't breathing it in. It says 56 and then 65. Okay. Whatever. So the chorus is very short, but delivers the most important issue as far as the narrator is concerned. They don't care that the land and water are polluted or that they are slowly poisoning themselves. What they care about is that they own something. Each instance of the chorus is musically tied to the stanza before it, as if to say the narrators reminding themselves of why they go through this routine. They own the land and they are going to use it. The final line ties it all together. Even if the water, sand, and air are basically polluted beyond saving, the moon will still be there for this yuppie jogger to enjoy. Oh, not that screen. Thank you so much for watching and contributing. And thank you to all the contributors for this program, as well as the members of Bud VLFJ.